Good morning everybody. Today we will discuss about chapter 4 Agriculture. Agriculture is derived from Latin words ager or agri. Agri meaning soil and culture meaning cultivation. Agriculture, the science and art of cultivation on the soil, raising crops and rearing livestock. It is also called farming. And activities of the people. The work or activities done by the people can be classified into three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary. First is primary activities. All activities connected with extraction and production of natural resource can be classified under primary activities like agriculture and gardening, horticulture and rearing of livestock, etc. And arable land, the right type of soil and climate are vital for any kind of agricultural activity. The land on which crop are grown is known as arable land. Geographically, different type of arable land in countries across the globe. And 50% of persons in the world are engaged in agricultural activities. Now, different kind of cultivation like horticulture, growing vegetable, flowers and fruits. Agriculture, everybody, cultivation on the soil, growing crops and rearing livestock. Sericulture, rearing of silkworms to extract silk. And cultivation of grapes called viticulture. And breeding of fish in specially constructed tank and pond is called pisciculture. Input work and output of farming system. Agriculture or farming can be called a system. Now let us look at the input work. See the picture. At first we can use seeds, fertilizers, machineries, labor, and processes: sowing, irrigation, harvesting, and output is crops, wool, dairy product and poultry product, etc. Now, types of farming. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world depending upon the geographical condition of the area, demand for the product, labor available, level of technology, and classification of farming. Based on these factors, farming can be broadly classified into two categories: subsistence and commercial farming. It can be further classified as farming. See the diagram. Subsistence farming, classified intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence. Primitive subsistence, also called safety cultivation and nomadic herding. At first, I will explain subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is practiced to meet the needs of the farmer family, low level of technology and household labor. And intensive subsistence. The farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor. And more than one crop is grown annually on the same plot as the climate is favorable and the soil is fertile. For example, rice is the main crop and wheat also. Primitive subsistence farming include shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. At first, shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested area of Amazon basin tropical Africa, part of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. And it receives heavy rainfall, and this helps in the quick regeneration of vegetation. And slash and burn, see the diagram, see the picture related to slash and burn. And earlier society use slash and burn, shifting cultivation. Nomadic herding also part of primitive subsistence farming. Nomadic herding is practiced in the semi-arid and arid region of Sahara, Central Asia and some part of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. See the picture. In the dearer part of Asia, especially Southeast Asia, most rural people make a living by raising livestock. Many are nomad who move with their herd of animal over large territory, constantly seeking good supply of grass and water. Now, commercial farming. It is very, very important. Crops are grown and animals are rearing for sale in the market, that is the commercial purposes. It is called commercial farming. The area cultivated and the amount of capital invested is large and most of work is done by machines. It is called commercial farming. Commercial grain farming. It is grown for commercial purpose. Wheat and maize are common commercial grown grain. And major areas where commercial grain farming is practiced are temperate grassland of North America, Europe and Asia. Mixed farming. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa also. Mixed farming is the combination of two independent crops. And this particular combination of enterprises support each other and add to the farmer profitably. And the cropping system comprises of one or more crops. Most farmers follow cropping pattern that involve mixed cropping, involve the growing of two or more crop. And the advantages in mixed cropping: greater stability of yield over different seasons and better use of growth resource, better control of weeds, pests and disease, and one crop may provide physical support to another one. Plantation agriculture. Plantation are a type of commercial farming system where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. A large amount of labor and capital are required. See the picture: coffee plantation, rubber plantation, sugarcane and tea plantation also is very clearly. Major crops. A large variety of crops are grown to meet the needs of growing population. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize and millet. At first, rice. Rice is the major food crop of the world and it is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Rice needs high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. And China leads to the production of the world. And wheat. Wheat require moderate temperature and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. And it thrives best in well-drained, loamy soil. Millet. Millet are known as the coarsest grain and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soils. And it is a hardy crop that needs low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. Jowar, bajra, example of millet. Maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall and sunshine and it needs well-drained, fertile soil. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India and Mexico. Cotton. Cotton is a fiber crop. Cotton require high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth, and it grows best on black and alluvial soil. Jute. Jute also fiber crop. Jute was also known as the golden fiber. It grows well on alluvial soil and require high temperature, heavy rainfall and humid climate, and this crop is grown in the tropical areas. Coffee. Coffee require warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil, and hill slopes are more suitable for growth of these crops, and Brazil is the leading producer followed by China. And tea is a beverage crop grown on plantation. This require cool climate and well-distributed high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. Labor in large number is required to pick the leaves, and India, China, Sri Lanka produce the best quality of tea. Agricultural development. Efforts are constantly being made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Increase agriculture production, increasing area under cultivation, farming in India and farming in USA. We know in India 2/3 population depend on agriculture. See the example, see the information related to agriculture practice in India. Size of farm is very small, about 1.5 hectare. Land is intensively cultivated, double. Multiple cropping is very common, and wheat, rice, pulses, etc. are main crop grown. Farm is very large, about 250 to 500 hectare. Indian farmer, see the Indian farmer, and see the USA farmer. There are differences because of Indian farmer use traditional tools and traditional methods, but USA farmer used modern technology most of the time. See the picture related to crops.